Hello and welcome to another video on the Green and Cream Gaming channel. And today, I'm going to give you my thoughts on the NBA 2K27 ratings. And this is going to be a little bit of a rant because I think some of these ratings are actually disgusting and very, very disrespectful to NBA players. Some of them. Right, so we're just going to get straight into the rookies. You can clearly tell they don't watch basketball alone off this because some reason the Summer League MVP isn't actually here. And as you can tell, this is the order of picks besides Acuff and Mikael Brown. This is the order of picks in the draft. It was 1 AJ Dembele, 2 Peterson, 3 Boozer. For some reason they're all 79. Caleb Wilson was number 4, Wagler was 5, Acuff was 7, Brown was 6. Then it was Flemings, Mores, Burries. You can tell that they don't watch basketball because the top 10 rookies was clear. It was all of these, but please take out Darius Acuff and Keaton Wagler. And you can put in Yaxel Lendeborg and Cameron Carr, just based off the Summer League alone. And I think personally, number 1 should either be Caleb Wilson or Braden Burries. Braden Burries had an unbelievable Summer League. Yeah, you can just tell alone off this that they just don't watch basketball because the Summer League MVP is missing apparently. For some reason they have all of these players above Yaxel. I mean, that's fair because, you know, they don't watch basketball. They expect them to be the best in the draft. Caleb Wilson was unreal, but these 5 above Braden Burries is absolutely criminal to me. Like, I'm genuinely pissed off with these ratings. And not only because they're bad in general, but because I think that there was an agenda made against the Milwaukee Bucks when doing these ratings. And I think that's the first one was Braden Burries because he had probably the best Summer League. Him or definitely Caleb Wilson. He definitely had the best Summer League by a guard. Burries was unbelievable, man. Right, so let's just get straight into it. Here's the first one. How is Shaedon Sharpe an 81? Let me actually check the stats because I'm pretty sure he averaged about 22 points per game last season. And he's somehow an 81 overall, the same as Devin Vassell, Walker Kessler, who didn't even play last season. Let me check the stats for Shaedon Sharpe because I think they're doing him a bit dirty here because I know that he had a great season. Shaedon Sharpe last season. He averaged 21 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. You're telling me that's only 81 rated? Yeah, okay. That's really the only bad thing here. Except that there's a couple players missing. Where is Ryan Rollins? You're telling me Alex Caruso is better than Ryan Rollins? You're telling me Alex Caruso is better than Kevin Porter Jr.? No. You're telling me Cason Wallace is better than Ryan Rollins and Kevin Porter Jr.? No. None of these players here are better than Ryan Rollins or Kevin Porter Jr. besides Shaedon Sharpe. Maybe Matas Buzelis, but I think I would rather Ryan Rollins over him as well. So we're going to check the stats here also on Kevin Porter Jr. and Ryan Rollins. Last season, Ryan Rollins averaged 17 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, while shooting 40% from 3. You're telling me that's not an 81 rated player? Kevin Porter Jr. 17 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals. He was 3rd in the league in steals. He was 11th in the league in assists. You're telling me that's not an 81 rated player? Okay. So that's like the first rant about Milwaukee, but there's a couple more. Here, I don't really have to complain with anything here beside the fact Dillon Brooks is only an 82. He just had his best ever season, and you're giving him an 82 overall. Like, genuinely, what is this from 2K, man? This guy just came off a career year where he averaged 20 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. And in the playoffs, he averaged 26, 6 and 2. What? You're saying that's the same level as Zach LaVine? Drew Holiday, yeah, he had a great year. Obviously, these two are key players. Pritchard's good. LaVine fell off. But RJ Barrett, another player. Why is he this low? Like, this is what I don't understand. Why is a player like RJ Barrett this low? Again, he probably just had a career year. 19 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. And in the playoffs, he averaged 24, 7, and 4, and 1. Like, it's blasphemous, man. These I can actually all agree with. But you're telling me Paul George is better than Ryan Rollins? Yeah, no. Derek White should also be higher after coming off possibly a career year. Derek White had a very, very, very good year last year, and you're putting him as an 83. I find that disrespectful. Last season he averaged 17, 5, 5, 1, and 1. Yeah, it's crazy. And then here, the disrespect to Norman Powell, Con Knuppel, Keontae George, and Alexander Walker. Alexander Walker just averaged 20, one most improved player. You're putting him in as an 83. Con Knuppel was my Rookie of the Year frontrunner until about the last month. Throughout the entire season. He should, and your Cooper Flag's like an 88. You're saying there's that much of a gap? No way. Keontae George just had an unbelievable year. Definitely a career. I think he averaged like 20 and 5, 20 and 6. I don't even know what to say. It's so disappointing from Turkey. It's so disappointing. You can genuinely tell just off the ratings, they do not watch basketball, man. Norman Powell should also be higher. I think he averaged like 23, and you're giving him an 84. Like, what is they've got favourites. It's so obvious. Here makes the only appearance from a back, Tyler Hero. I mean, you can't deny he's there. Yeah, this is fine. I think Brandon Miller should be a bit higher, but I'm not going to argue that. I think he should probably be about an 87 and 88, but, you know, I think Dylan Harper, I don't think he should be that high, but you're telling me, wait, you're telling me Dylan Harper had a better rookie year than Con Knuppel? Okay, Turkey. They genuinely just go on Twitter and see what's being posted. Like, I think NBA fans are overrating Harper. I think, yes, he had a great year, he had a great playoffs. Last season, he averaged 12, 3, 4. And Con Knuppel averaged like 18. Like, it's not even a discussion, man. Last season, he averaged 19, 5, 3. While shooting 42.5 from 3 and the most threes in the league. You're telling me Dylan Harper had a better rookie year than that? Yeah, okay. Okay, Turkey. Whatever you say, man. And this is probably the one that's gonna make me mad the most. Because why is Zion Williamson an 85? Not only that, but why is Zion still an 85? He's never healthy. Okay, we've got that out the road. But this is probably the worst rating in the entire game. This genuinely made my blood boil. Damian Lillard is an 86 overall. He just won the 3-point contest on torn Achilles, and I don't want to hear it. Oh, we didn't see Dame play last season. Yes, we also didn't see Halliburton playing. Where's Halliburton? Halliburton's in the top 20 with a 90. You're saying there's that much of a gap between Damian Lillard and Halliburton? No, there's absolutely not. It pisses me off, man. Like, Halliburton is not that good, man. He's so overrated. It's pure sympathy from the fans just because of his torn Achilles. Dame had one too. You know what? No one gave a shit about Dame. Let's compare Dame's last season. Let's compare his last season to Tyrese Halliburton's. Right. I can't actually get the stats for Dame because he was out last year. Yeah, here we go. Alright. Dame's last season that he played. 25, 5, 7, and 1. Shooting 38% from 3. Okay? So that's Dame's. Keep that in mind. That's Dame's last season that he played. Now let's look at Halliburton's. Because I know for a fact it's not good. It's not as good as Dame's. Absolutely no way is that as good as Dame's. Halliburton averaged 18, 4, and 9 with a steal. Damian Lillard's season was better. He averaged more rebounds, 2 less assists, more points, more steals. It's genuinely crazy. And even if you want to say Hallie's better, it's not that big of a gap, man. How can someone that just averaged 25, was it 25, 4 and 7, being 86 overall? It makes absolutely no sense, 2K. It makes zero sense. The disrespect Damian Lillard gets and has gotten throughout his career is disgusting. This guy's a top 10 point guard of all time. This guy might be the most unlucky player ever. This guy gets a blood clot right before the playoffs, comes back to help his team win, tears his Achilles. And the year before that, he did something to his knee. His knee was fucked up. And then his co-star, Giannis, was also out. Middleton was also out, who was his co-star that was actually playing in the series. He wasn't out, but he was very, very hurt, visibly hurt. And then in Portland, they just didn't do anything for him. They didn't make a trade for any big star. CJ McCollum was really his best player until he got into Milwaukee. CJ McCollum was his best ever teammate until he got to Milwaukee. It's so bad. Like, Damian Lillard would be a champion if it wasn't for injuries. I'm not saying Halliburton wouldn't, but I personally do think the Thunder would have won that series, and I personally think the Bucks would have beat the Pacers in 2025 if Dame doesn't get injured. It's I don't even know what to say, bro. And it doesn't get any better. It really doesn't. Okay. So Colin is an 84, Coop's an 87. Yeah. Okay, we'll just pass by that. Because it's really not that big of a gap. How is LaMelo Ball in 86? I think he just made the second most amount of threes in the NBA last season behind Colin Knippel. How is he in 86? You ask me who I'd rather have, LaMelo Ball or James Harden, I'm picking LaMelo Ball every day. You know why? Because James Harden is a cone. He's a cone on defense. The Knicks literally said openly they were targeting Harden in the series. I'm not saying Harden shouldn't be an 87, but LaMelo should be higher than Harden. It's very interesting by 2K how they've done these ratings, and it gets even worse. Okay. Bam Adebayo should be higher than 87. He's a top 3 big man defender in the league. He just dropped 83 points, which, will probably never be seen again. Deni Avdija should also be about a 91, because he just had a career year. He averaged like 25. Maybe 23, 22, around that. Mid-20s. Early 20s, mid-20s. How is he only an 88? Genuinely. How? How is OG Anunoby above Deni Avdija? It's crazy. And Bam should definitely be higher. And you're saying Pascal Siakam is 3 ratings below Tyrese Halliburton. You're saying it's that big of a gap for the best player on the Pacers? Yeah, okay. It's right. How is Tyrese Halliburton a 90? I'm sorry. And if we're basing it off the last season he played, this guy was the first All-NBA player since 1958 to not score a field goal in the finals game. If he plays somewhat okay, his team probably won the finals. That's all on him. Game 5 was a disgusting performance from Halliburton. Yet he's still a 90, still apparently 4 ratings higher than Dame. It's awful, man. And it gets even worse. How has Jaylen Brown went down after a career year? He was a MVP candidate. How is he going down, 2K? It makes zero sense. How is Kawhi Leonard? I think he also went down. He just had the best year of his career. And how is Maxey at 92? Again, he just had the best season of his career. Give these players some respect, man. Also, give Damian Lillard some respect, bro. That's the worst rating in the entire game. And 86, that's still crazy. But Jaylen Brown, Maxey, and Kawhi going down is... it's barbaric, man. It's disgusting from 2K. It really is. It's disgusting. And then here... Okay, right, let's go from 10 down. Okay, so we've got Kevin Durant 93, fairs. I think Curry should personally be 94 on par with Cade, but fair. Cade at 94, yep. Ant 95, yep, fair enough. Giannis Antetokounmpo is ranked the number 6 player in 2K. I actually thought he was going to get a little bit more media respect because he left Milwaukee, but it seems like not. Seems like Milwaukee wasn't the problem. They just don't like Giannis. Because how are you going to sit here and tell me Jalen Brunson is a better player than Giannis Antetokounmpo? You're not. You're just not. Tell me what Brunson's better at. He's a better 3-point shooter and a better mid-range shooter. That's it. That is genuinely it. Giannis is a way better defender, a better finisher, a better scorer, a better under-the-basket scorer, a better passer, a better playmaker. Giannis' passing and playmaking is extremely underrated. And even if you want to give passing and playmaking to Brunson, Giannis still clears him. Giannis was on track for an absolutely historic season. I actually have a lot of pictures on my phone from the start of the season. Giannis' stats. He just does not get respect. Him and Dame are probably the most disrespected players, or some of the most disrespected players ever. Right, this was through the first 2 weeks. Do you know what Giannis Antetokounmpo was averaging through the first 2 weeks of last season? 34.2 points. Only Wilt Chamberlain has had these numbers. Yeah, I don't know what to say. And 2 years before that, Giannis... You want to hear the players that have averaged 30 points on 60% field goal. So you've got 2023-24 Giannis, 2024-25 Giannis. That's the list. But if we're going off last season, Fairs, he didn't play that much, but he was still having a historic season. The reason his stats are so low is because he left games. He left Detroit 2 minutes in. That's why his stats went down. He left Cleveland in the second quarter. That's why his stats went down. Now the Nuggets, he played nearly the full game. The Pacers, he left in the third quarter. His stats went down because of that. Because I'll read out some of Giannis' stats from last season because they're crazy. They're unhuman. This is probably going to be a long video because this has genuinely pissed me off. The amount of disrespect some of these players are getting. Alright, so let's go to Giannis' stats and we'll see some of his performances from last season. Obviously, he got shut down a bit. Alright, so I'm just going to go all the way to the start. The start of the season because we know. And then by the way, he was on a minutes restriction when this happened. He went on a little streak. 29 and 8 on 70% shooting in 25 minutes. 33, 15 and 3 in 28 minutes. 30, 10 and 5 in 30 minutes. 37, 11 and 76 on 76% shooting, 32 minutes. 34, 10 and 5 in 31 minutes. And then we'll go back to all the way to the start of the season when he was playing his life out. Alright, so we've got Washington opening night, 37, 14 and 5 in 27 minutes. And then against Toronto, 31, 20 and 7. And then against Cleveland, 40, 14 and 9. And then against New York, 37, 8 and 7. And then against Indiana, we've got 33, 13 and 5 in a game winner. 26, 11 and 8 against Sacramento. And then his best performance of the season, 41, 15 and 9 against Chicago. And then we've got a couple others like 37, 8 and 3. The disrespect to say that Jalen Brunson, Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, Victor Wembanyama and Shea are better. I'm not going to argue about Jokic and Shea. I think they're, Giannis, Jokic and Shea are 1A, 1B, 1C. But Luka, Wemby and Brunson just aren't better. I could even argue Giannis is better than Jokic. Brunson, yeah, he obviously had a great playoffs, but he's still not better than Giannis. Luka didn't play in the playoffs. Jokic had a disgusting playoffs. He continued to show us that he was a playoff dropper in that series against Minnesota. He was a huge favourite. He faced an injury-riddled team. They were missing Ayo Dosunmu some games. They were missing Dante DiVincenzo some games. They were missing Ant some games. And he continued to lose. Let's look at Jokic's playoff stats. Okay. So the first game of the playoffs, he had 25, 13, and 11. Obviously, you can't argue that. In 40 minutes. And this is where it gets real bad. 24, 15, and 8. 1 of 7 from 3 in 40 minutes, shooting 40% from the field. And then this is maybe one of the worst performances by a superstar ever. 27, 15, and 3. Yeah, looks nice, doesn't it? 26% from the field. Oh, and it doesn't get much better. 24, 15, and 9 in 41 minutes. Yeah, it's fine. 36% from the field. Nikola Jokic continues to show us. He continues to show he's a playoff dropper. If this was Giannis, you know exactly what would happen. And I mean, it happened. 23, 24, 25. We lost in the first round. Jokic lost in the first round in 2024, being a defending champ. In 2020, no, he didn't. He lost in the conference second round. Yeah, second round. Blowing the biggest Game 7 lead ever. And then he lost to the Thunder, where he also played horrific. And then lost in the first round. If this was Giannis, they would be pushing. They would be dragging him out of Milwaukee. And then Victor Wembanyama had a disgusting final. Shai, I like Shai. People say he's not ethical. People hate him because of his quote unquote flopping. But I like Shai. I think he's a good player. Can actually play basketball. Yep, Wemby, let's have a look at his final stats, yeah? Game 1. 26, 12, and 3, yeah, looks nice. 28% from the field. And then against New York, Game 2. Game 2 was good. 29, 9, 2, 2, 4 blocks on 50% shooting. 50% shooting's fine. And then the next game was probably his best game when they won. 32, 8, 6, and 3 blocks on 60% shooting, right? And then the next two are stinkers. 24 and 13 on 36% shooting. And then obviously the game they lost, they blew it. 19-14 on 36% shooting. You're not going to sit here and tell me these 5 are better than Giannis. I personally still think Giannis is the best in the world because, he's a better defender than Brunson, better defender than Luka, better defender than Jokic, better defender than Shai. It comes down to him and Wemby, and Giannis is the superior player on offense. By far the superior player on offense. He's a better scorer. He's a lot more clutch. He's a better finisher. He's a better inside scorer. He's a better playmaker, better passer. Yeah. That's what I've got to say about these rankings. These rankings did absolutely disgust me. Every single part of it. It's going to be a long video, but please watch it all. Well, I mean, you're going to be at the end. So thank you for watching. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Actually, I might upload tomorrow. Just to give you my thoughts on the more details on 2K27. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in on this rant. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.